welcome back to my channel. My name is Paige. I haven't posted in a very long time, so I am back a year later with a mini van life update for those of you who have watched my first van video. Thanks for sticking around. I have some updates on that, and also this video is going to be about what I've been doing for the past year. I don't know if a lot of you know this, but I am a performer. I sing and dance and act, and I've been working on cruise ships. I did a ship right before the pandemic, and then obviously everything got shut down. And then I just recently, like a few days ago, have returned from my second contract with Regent 7 Seas, and I will fill you in on all of that. So first, I just want to touch on my van. If you haven't already seen my video, it's still up on my YouTube channel where I buy my first van and I tear everything out inside until it's empty, and that's about as far as I got. So I just wanted to give you a little update on that. I still very much want to do my van. For me, it's more of a vacation van. Like, it's something that when I come home from work, I would take like a month or two and go on a trip in my van. I don't know if living in my van is exactly what I would want to be doing in it. Obviously, with the pandemic, it's hard to have the money to do a van build, and it was right in the middle of winter, so it was quite cold, so I wasn't able to do many of those next steps that I planned on doing. And then of course I got my dream job back, which is singing and dancing on a cruise ship, so I had to take that opportunity, of course. So I've been sailing around in the Caribbean and Alaska for the past 6 months, so therefore obviously couldn't be working on my van. I'm hoping to do some more contracts, so I'm not really sure when I'll have the time to work on my van. So I'm sorry if you're waiting for another video. Just for me, it's not like a huge priority to be working on that at this moment, but it's definitely something that I want to do down the road. So maybe in a few years' time you can see some more van videos depending on where my crazy life takes me. So that's it on the van, and now on to the cruise ship job. Well, I was really lucky to be in the relaunch cast for the Regent 7 Seas Mariner. Now, Regent 7 Seas, for their performers, they are hired under Norwegian Cruise Line. So you would go to an audition for a Norwegian ship, but they can cast you in any ship under Norwegian Cruise Line, Regent 7 Seas, or Oceania. As you know, everything has been shut down for the past 2 years, and we were hired as the very first cast to bring the ship back to life, which was an amazing experience, and I feel so honored and special that I could be a part of that first relaunch cast. Yeah, I guess I'll take you through what that was like. So it was quite a crazy experience because we had a really hard time completing our cast. There's 12 people in our cast. There's 4 singers, 4 dancers, and then 2 singer-dancers, a male and a female. I was the female singer-dancer, but they had a really hard time casting everyone because like things were just sort of getting back to normal. I think I started this contract in October of last year, which was 2021. So it was really hard to find people that were ready to be back on a ship, and especially at that time they really couldn't guarantee that we would be able to get off the ship, which was a big turnoff for a lot of people, and it was really scary going into it knowing that there really was no guarantee. Like, we could have the entire 6-month contract not being able to get off, or maybe it would last 1 month, or like we just had no idea. So it was really hard to cast everyone. So we have our rehearsal space in Tampa, Florida. It's called Creative Studios by NCLH. That's the new name of the company that hires the performers and creates all the shows and all of that fun stuff. So we have a month to rehearse in Tampa, and each week we added a new member of our cast. So I think we started off with maybe like 5 of us, and then we had to learn our shows because there's just not enough time to waste. So we ended up having to cut our rehearsal process short by a week. The company flew us to Italy, where we joined our ship.
This is really weird. Paige, sometimes I'm like, what am I doing here? Is this real?
And then we had to sail back over to Miami. So that was a long 10 days at sea, and at the time we had to do 10 days of quarantine. So we were put in a guest cabin, and we had to pre-order our meals and everything and just sort of chill in there until we were safe to be released in the ship. Once we got out of quarantine, we were to begin our install process, which is when we start to put our shows onto the stage, and we would do the lighting and the sound and the costumes, all of the elements, and do our spacing on stage as well. This is usually a really stressful process, but it was even more stressful because we still had one show to learn called Divos and Divas, which was a brand new show for that ship as well. So that was a huge and stressful process. Once we got through the install period, which is what that entails, then we were off and performing. Another thing too with this cruise is that it was supposed to be a world cruise, meaning that we were supposed to start in San Francisco, go all the way around the world and back to San Francisco. But while we were on the ship, I think at the time that new African variant came out, so then they canceled the world cruise. So for that, 5 months that we were supposed to be circling around the world, we ended up just staying in the Caribbean. What ended up happening with us is that for the first 3 months of my contract, we were not allowed to get off the ship at all. So that was extremely difficult. And it was just because of the rules at each port we were at. Each country we were at had their own set of rules with how many cases you were allowed to have on board, if your guests could get off, if your crew could get off. So basically for the first 3 months, everywhere we went said no crew can get off. The guests could get off at most places, so they were able to sort of do whatever they wanted freely, but unfortunately for us crew members, we were stuck on board for 3 months, which was very difficult. I was very grateful to have such an amazing group of friends on board with me and to be able to do our shows. That's it. I was just happy that I had a job, I was getting paid, I was traveling at some capacity, and I was on stage. So as hard and crazy as it was, I was like, okay, at least I'm here doing my dream job. It could be worse, it could be worse. And then one day, literally out of the blue, I think I heard like a tiny rumor from some friends on a different ship that we could possibly be getting shore leave, and shore leave just meaning like the crew was allowed to get off the ship. And then the captain just came on and made this announcement, like, I don't even remember what he said, but he was like, all crew like are allowed to go in the terminal, just like bring your crew ID and have fun or something. And all of my friends were like, wait, what? Like, is this a joke? And we like ran into the hallway and we had this like huge party and we were just like freaking out, so excited. And then we finally got to step foot on land, which was just an incredible feeling. It's so hard to explain being on a ship for that long. You're just trapped in this like floating thing on the water and you can't go anywhere. It's just very strange. I mean, a lot of people experience that with COVID in general, but I think being on a floating ship is just like it's just weird in its own way. And then slowly but surely they did let us start to go off and explore and do our thing, which was the best feeling ever. It finally felt like what cruising is supposed to feel like as a performer. You travel during the day, you see all these amazing places, you come back on the ship at night and do your show. Like, that's how it's supposed to be. So it was so good to finally feel like that was back to normal. We did lots of amazing things as a cast. We rented these quad bikes and we biked through Saint Martin, and we went to these beautiful secluded beaches in the rocks, and my friend brought his drone and took some incredible footage. Thanks, Barney, shout out. And then we went zip lining as a cast in Honduras, which was so much fun. There was like, I don't even remember, like 10 or 15 different zip lines that you could go down through this jungle, and then at the bottom you got to like hold a little sloth and see some monkeys, and that was so special as well. So it just felt like I had my life back finally. And then we ended our trip up in Alaska, which was absolutely stunning. I don't know if you've ever been to Alaska. I've never thought much of going there, but oh my god, it is absolutely beautiful. And I was so lucky to be able to have my parents join me on board. I gave them my crew members discount, and they came on their first cruise ever and they absolutely loved it. They could not stop smiling and saying how amazing it was. And they got to see me perform on stage, which they haven't seen me do since college, which was like 2019 or something like that. So they were very, very happy, and it was just so beautiful there, and it was such a nice place to end off my contract. And if you love to perform and sing and dance and act and travel and see the world and get paid for it all at the same time, then cruising is definitely something that you want to look into doing. It has been such a dream to work for this company, and this company, as well as many, many others, are having auditions all the time, online and in person, all over the world. All you have to do is Google your favorite cruise line, and you should be able to find out where the auditions are. I auditioned for Norwegian Cruise Line, like I said. I went to my audition in Toronto, Canada, and then I heard from them a few weeks later and booked my first job. So if this is something you're interested in, definitely go check it out. Go audition. Keep auditioning. It is so, so worth it. It's definitely not for everyone. It's definitely hard to be at sea for so long if you're not very good with being rocking in the seasickness. And it's just like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just like a different lifestyle. Like your whole life for 6 months is just all on this ship. I really love it, and if you have any questions about cruise ship life or want to see anything specific, please leave a comment below. I would love to make some more videos about it. Obviously, I'm here at my house. I'm not on the ship anymore, but I filmed a lot of stuff while I was there, knowing that I would come home and want to like create some little videos. So I have a cabin tour and a backstage tour, and I've filmed some other little things to do with like our last shows and warming up, and I don't know, just interesting things like that. So if that's something you want to see, please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel and leave a comment below if you wish. And I think that's it. That's all I have to say, really, but just a little life update and telling you a bit about my cruise contract, and I think that's all. So bye for now, and I will see you in my next video.